This video describes the software and some of the hardware used by Mass Consultants Limited at Middlesex University in England to address the vast 2016 Mini Challenge 2. To address the challenge, we used 4 tools. We used 2 in-house developed tools for the proximity card data. These were Polar Commode and Classifier. For the HVAC data, we used a rather large Microsoft Excel spreadsheet with conditional formatting and another in-house tool called Data Timelines. This is Polar Commode, which we use for visualizing prox card data. On the left is a watch list where the user can select data by department or card ID. Next to the watch list is a map showing 3 floors. Colored points show card locations at a given point in time. The timeline shows how card locations distribute over time. In geospatial mode, the colors correspond to a color map imposed on the building map. This is proximity to location mode. The user can define a location with variable radius. Color coding on the timeline then indicates when the data shows prox cards in this area. Here we see that the weekend visits included detection in room 3000. Polar also has an animation feature so that the user can animate data over time. Classifier aggregates prox card data and shows estimated location of employees over a given period of time. Time is on the horizontal axis, employee ID on the vertical axis, and locations are encoded by color. Black indicates a card has not yet been seen, grey indicates that it has been seen for the last time, and bright green shows that the card has left the building. Here we see Patrick Young began using a replacement card on day 3, but his original card continues to move around the building, beginning on day 4, where it enters the pink zone. Switching to path mode, the wandering card's movements can be seen in finer detail. Intriguingly, this card enters the server room for a few minutes at 10:20 AM on certain days. We've put the HVAC sensor data into an Excel spreadsheet and used conditional formatting to show variations in data values. We ran the spreadsheet on a Powerwall. The Powerwall is a 50 megapixel tile display constructed of 6 4K monitors in a 3x2 arrangement. This provided a useful tool for exploring and identifying regular patterns and anomalies in the data. Here we see an extract of the spreadsheet for Floor 2, Zone 6, during the first 2 days. This view shows that the patterns for both zones are very similar on both days, except for an anomaly in the second half of the second day, around 1 PM. Finally, Data Timelines allowed us to select specific sensors and align them so that we could view and compare levels over time with more visual accuracy. In this view, we have aligned the thermostat heating and cooling set points from a number of zones. The graphs clearly show that the set points co-vary across these zones. Here we see an operator examining building-wide data for interesting information. They discover that the HVAC electric demand power has been consistently high over the weekend. The user compares this power abnormality to HVAC readings for Zone 5 on Floor 2 to search for an explanation. Looking at thermostat settings, they find that the heating and cooling cutoff temperatures for the zone have both been set to the same value over the weekend, resulting in high activity in the reheat damper inlet mass flow and reheat coil. Finally, the user expands their search to zones on remaining floors to try to work out the extent of the problem, determining that this effect can be seen on both floors 1 and 2.